up these options so the stream doesn't look like shit. And then we are good to go. Today, typically these streams, we're trying to test something specific to see, um, how good it actually is. If there's validity to it, especially, in the first couple days of the expansion. There's a lot of different things to test out, and I thought today there was a post over on the competitive Hearthstone Reddit, all about different rogue archetypes, what's good, what's bad, what hasn't, been given its chance yet in the first week. And one of the decks which showed up was this Tempo Keleseth Rogue. And back when Keleseth Rogue was like the best deck in the game, my Tespa team and I used it just about every week to almost 100% win rate and got us to playoffs with it. So I was really excited to see a new version of this deck come out because I'm not much of an aggro player typically, but it has a little bit of a soft spot for me. So I've decided today to try out a Spirit of the Shark, Tempo, Keleseth, aggro, rogue sort of thing. Um, I have a one game of experience which wasn't tracked on the deck tracker for some reason, but essentially today instead of diving into um, a class archetype and really analyzing that, I really just want to jam some games with this list and see what we can change around, what has the best chance of being good going forward, and stuff like that. Um, the list seems incredibly strong just off the bat. Essentially, the only card in it that's a little bit meme worthy would be the former champ. Um, but with Spirit of the Shark, in my one game of experience, it seems the Spirit of the Shark can give you some massive tempo swings. So summoning 13/13 worth of stats in one turn might be good enough. Um, but yeah, so we're just gonna jam games with this for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, see how it goes, and then I will have a video afterwards which will discuss what I thought about everything in general with all the stats and like drawn win rate of cards, played win rate of cards, and all that jazz. Um, Aside from that, the plan for today is do the stream, test out this list, make a video about this list, and then I have two games from the Undertaker Taunt Druid Heroic Brawl, which I still want to go back and look at the mistakes of, so I can end up linking that in the description box of the other video. So that's the plan for today. I think it's best just to coin out a 4/4 here, because having the chance to get high rolled spiders is a really easy way to win this matchup pretty quickly. Um, Now, we're assuming he's Kingsbane because he used Cavern Shiny Finder. Yeah. Now it comes down to whether he's the more aggressive version or the, like, control-y type. I think that the control type is a worse matchup for us overall. Nice, we high rolled a spider on our very first draw. That's pretty bonkers. I'm just gonna do it again and hit face. Now, both the aggressive and the control lists that I've seen for this run vanish. Control typically runs 2, aggro runs 1, just to get themselves out of some sticky situations, so we do have to be wary of that. But that's essentially the only card that they can play that's really scary. That's not too good for us either. But we're looking to be in a pretty good spot. Okay, so he's definitely a more aggressive variant. He's running Dread Corsairs for the Pirates and the Tempo. So if I play this, next turn I can get like an extra Serenite. That's not too strong, I think. What do I think our best play is here? We could... I don't think we can afford just to play this without playing anything with it on the same turn. I think this trade always happens. I'm just going to summon Serenites behind it to try and protect our 4-1. It might be difficult for him to get through taunts to get value out of that. Leeching Poison, okay. That's not too scary for us. Gilneas is not particularly good for us, though. We're going to change this around a little to try and make the stream run a little bit better. We're still trying to find out the optimal settings for this, if you haven't been able to tell. I think pretty much every video and stream we've done has had different resolutions and things like that, but that's not the end of the world. I'm really just looking at buffing everything. How do I like the buffing everything plan? I think that that's okay. And then I'm just gonna push face damage because he's extremely low. I think keeping the dagger in case we decide to Henge Clan is okay, because our next turn is looking like it's gonna be Spirit Edwin, which, you know, sets up the Spirit for Fungal. Ooh, is this gonna be Vanish? Nice, we got a Vanish out of the way before we, uh, you know, develops too much. He could, yeah, Elven back again, but that's okay. So we're just gonna go Spirit Edwin, because then next turn we can go Serenite Life Drinker with the double battle cries and set up a very big board. He only has one Vanish left, so that's really important for us. So Spirit Edwin, and just make a big threat. Cool. The only way that he can deal with the Stealth Totem is with like a Blade Flurry, because he just redrew his Kingsbane, or with a second Vanish. Okay. Dang, he actually found enough to kill that. That's unlucky for us. And then if he didn't have Lifesteal on his weapon, we won this turn with the Life Drinker, but he did have that. Let's see. So this is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're 1 damage off, but then we can Shadow Step this and win. So we won, because combos are doubled as well from this. Minions, Battle Cries, and combos. So we deal 4. And we Shadow Step this back and deal the extra 2. So this deck has incredible burst. Essentially, if you land a shark, and there's not that many things in the meta right now which deal with the shark aside from AoE tools, you can almost always get burst out of it with either Fungal, SI7, the Life Drinker. You can make an Edwin just really big. It's a stealth target for Cold Blood, which is, you know, something that most likely will come into play at, you know, eventually. Especially against classes that don't have AoE, it's a good way to set up your Cold Bloods to make sure they get value. Alright. So we also have Zihi for the control matchups. I don't think that Rogue's going to be hyper control, so I don't think we need to keep Zihi in our hand. Oh, we high rolled the Kalisteth. That's really strong. So essentially, we're looking for a turn 3 play or a Shadow Step. Okay, so we're against Kingsman again. This deck's really popular right now. Mojo Master is not the worst. You know, it's not really what I'm looking for, but he's definitely going to be on the control side of this matchup, so trying to hamper him is going to be good. Having Lifesteal from the very start is a little bit scary. Firefly. Okay, so we'll just play this out. There's something to be said potentially for holding it to try and get some Shadow Step or Spirit of the Shark shenanigans, but I think just getting it out is probably better. Our hand is not looking super good, considering he now has permanent lifesteal. Spirit's pretty nice though. So I'm just gonna go like this and do this trade here. We can set up Spirit, and then Spirit into Fungal is pretty good. Especially with coins, so we can go Spirit, and then like on the next turn play this guy, Fungal, have a big board, and then we can set up for a turn 6 Zihi. So this is looking pretty good. And obviously if it gets, you know, if we get better draws, we can use Zihi later on to disrupt him even more. But right now, a 6-mana 5/5 isn't looking like the worst thing in the world. This guy's art is hella cool, by the way. Okay, let's see. I'm assuming maybe like a raiding party. Yeah, prep raiding party, it looks like. So that's really bad. Found the Kingsbane. And then maybe like a Cutthroat Buccaneer. Yep, okay. So we're just going to drop the Spirit this turn. We could make a 5/5. Is that more worthwhile? No, because it just gets traded into. So yeah, I just like playing Spirit here and doing nothing. And then next turn we'll set up Fire Elemental, Coin, Fungal Mancer, and get two really big threats. we're basically setting him up to have Vanish. Because this is going to get 4-4, so this can trade into here really easily. Cool, we found another Spirit too, that's really good. Okay, so we're going to trade into this. And then he can kill the Shark with Kingsbane. He could also potentially look at like a Vanish to get rid of our big board. I think if he doesn't Vanish here, we're in a very good spot, just because we have such a large board versus him. That's really the only AoE tool that this deck runs. I haven't seen any of these lists running Blade Flurry yet, so I'm not even really going to consider Blade Flurry an option. Is the stream showing the deck tracker? It is not. Let's fix that. There we go. Quick fix. Alright, that doesn't do too much, it just gives a little bit of extra lifesteal. Oh, Vile Spine. Oh no, Doomring, okay. Well, that's bad, but it's not Vile Spine levels of bad. This is going to be really hard to deal with. That got super big, super fast. I think we don't really have a good play, because this dies no matter what. So I could either throw this out to die, or I can set up a Shark. Shark is setting up if we draw like Serenite. I guess this is the play. Just force a weapon attack into it. That feels really bad though. I don't think that we're going to win this match. Basically, it came down to whether he had an answer to our board last turn, and he ended up having a really good answer to our board. So it's going to be really difficult for us to come back from this position. Okay, Fan doesn't do that much. Slightly annoying, I guess, but overall not that big a deal. We essentially need to get a Serenite or a Faldori Shrider. We just have to be able to go wide. Developing one threat per turn isn't going to win us the game anymore. Ooh, especially now that he's just deciding to set up a 2-turn lethal. Life Drinker. We can't play the Shark with it, which is unfortunate. I think we go like this. We hit here. We hit here. So we're taking 11, so we're at 3 health. We can consider Shadow Stepping this to get the health, but 6 health is not going to be the break point for us. So I'm going to save this in case we draw like a Serenite. Essentially, our next draw has to be Serenite unless we're already dead. We might already be dead as well, it's only 3 damage. So, Eviscerate, SI7. Doomring's really bad for us. So yeah, we need Serenite off the top. It's our only taunt in our deck. Does he run a Shadow Step? Is that what he was considering there? We didn't find it, so that's game. I don't think there was too much we could have done differently that game. It's just he had a really strong answer to our Fungal Mancer board, and we didn't have enough in our hand to come back from that. Alright, so this hand is overall fairly bad. I think I'm going to keep Shadow Step, just because we might be able to make an early tempo swing with it. Wow. Okay. So we're going to need some help with our draws, but that's okay. Even more luck. So this is looking really bad for us. Even Warlock with coin is going to have a turn 3 giant, and we don't have a way to answer that at all. So, definitely not looking good. We do pick up a Vile Spine, so that could come in handy. I'm going to poke, just because we don't have a play next turn anyway. This is looking real bad, though. We found a Serenite that we can't play. Cool, cool. So hopefully the giant doesn't come down. It did. So we have to play Serenite into this and hope he doesn't have Hellfire. And next turn, if we need, we can backstab or Shadow Step with Vile Spine to kill that. So that's essentially why we're hoping he doesn't have Hellfire, because if he doesn't have Hellfire, then he doesn't get to push the 8 face before we kill it. Yeah. So that worked out pretty well, because he didn't clear us and push the face damage. Just hopefully not like a Twilight Drake or a second giant. Cool, so he's just setting up stuff for Spellstone. And he had to get a card out of his hand. His Spellstone, if he has it, now does 7 though, so that's a little bit scary. But do I want to Shadow Step this or backstab one of these? I could technically do both, but that seems really bad. I'm going to keep Shadow Step because Shadow Step is better to combo with Edwin. So I'm going to backstab here, Vile Spine this giant down, and then take this free trade. And I'm gonna do this hit. Just because if he does this natural trade, then we can redagger and kill that for free. So that worked out fairly well for us. His best play would have probably been to use a Hellfire to try and get the 8 damage in. I think that that's something I probably would have done. Coin 6 Dread Infernal. Again, Skulking Geist. Okay, well that got rid of Cold Bloods. That's really bad for us. Fungal. Is that what we want to be doing this turn? This is a 4-4. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4. I can make a big Edwin. So I think that has to be the play. Shadow Step. And then just hope he doesn't have a very efficient way to answer this. Because this guy's massive now. 12-12. That means one Spellstone isn't enough, even though it does 7, because that's only 11 total damage. So this math worked out really well. I didn't actually count the math out at all, but that works out very nicely for us. Because that means that something... Oh. Well, I guess there's nothing we could do against that. That's just unlucky. We have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 damage. Ooh, we found Keloseth too, that's cool. So I'm just going to take these buffs and push face damage. At this point he has to have a clear, or we're in a very strong spot, and he hasn't shown to have Hellfire, unless it's in these last like 3 draws. Again, some of these cards over here are most likely Spellstones, which you can use to help clear. But I don't really see that we didn't have like any favorable trades to make either, so this worked out fine. He doesn't have a 1 for Defile, and there's no way for him. He could create a 1 here actually. Yep, so it's looking like Defile. He could also have just been taking his best trades to get damage off board, I guess. Maybe he doesn't have any clear at all, and if he doesn't have any clear, then we're in a really good spot, because we actually have lethal. Turns out we have lethal. Yeah, there's the Defile. That's fine. So essentially, if he doesn't have 4 mana 7/7, okay, good. Ooze doesn't do anything. Former champ, nice. So I'm gonna go former champ and then hit, because that means if my 5/5 lives, then I'm threatening lethal even with this trade happening. This is fairly weak to a Spellstone turn, but he didn't use Spellstone last turn to try and like preserve his board, so potentially he doesn't have it. I would think that since he played both of his Vulgars like really willingly, that they must have buffed up some spellstones over on this left side of his hand. It is worth considering, though, the fact that he didn't instantly do this, because healing for 7 and killing this off would have been his best play this turn. He might be in a tricky situation, and we threaten lethal even with this trade, so... Oh, okay, so that spellstone was not upgraded at all. Is that going to be his second unupgraded? Okay, cool. So we don't have to worry about heal 7, deal 7 anymore. SI is not particularly strong, but I'm just going to throw this board out here. This board doesn't die to Hellfire, so this also threatens lethal. He's had good answers for like 2 or 3 turns in a row, and now he needs it this turn as well, otherwise we win. So, hopefully it just ends up that he's out of removal. He needs Hellfire with Defile, or like a Twisting Nether, but most lists don't run Twisting Nether. Okay, so that doesn't do it. Or, well, that saves him, I guess. 4, 5, 10. Fungal Mancer's lethal. Faldora is not lethal, but it's pretty good. So, that gives us potential, even if he clears, to, draw into them and make a big board state again. This game is really close, but I do think that we have the edge. Another Defile here would feel pretty bad, because he can set up a 1-2. This would still be alive, right? Because you go 1, 2. This would need 1 more damage on it. So Defile's not super good. He can't Hellfire because he's too low. Twisting Nether? Or 4 mana 7/7 taunts help. Vital Spine's a dead draw. Spirit of the Shark is a dead draw. Mojo Master's okay. If we drew something like SI7, we would save it because we want to try and get the combo off. This trade is one that's really weird to me. That means that he doesn't have Defile because he can't set up a Defile clear. Oh, Gul'dan. Okay. So he gets 2 2/4s, which saves him for this turn. Elven. That we have to save because we need to get value off of it next turn to draw cards. So he needs a way to clear again. Hellfire now works. Defile still works. He hasn't played any Hellfires, which is kind of scary, so now that he got the armor and the lifesteal off of this, he might be able to. Bone Mare. That's fine. It requires a trade and then requires hero power, so that's pretty good for him, but it could have been a lot scarier for us. Okay, so we want to draw the cards over dealing the 2 damage. We got a Squire, that's pretty cool, and then next turn, anything we draw can be comboed, so this is fine. We're definitely not in a bad position. Drawing this Elven and then getting this, even this second Elven, is essentially the only way that we still had gas for this game. So it was pretty lucky that we drew into those, but he's had some really good clears the past couple turns. So don't feel too bad, we're kind of back and forth with the draw RNG. Okay, and then he would eat that, and then I have a 2/2. I think our best draw is probably Spirit of the Shark, closely followed by like Mojo Master or Fungal Mancer. Oh, is this a Hellfire? He picked up a Defile. Okay. Yeah, so Spirit of the Shark, Mojo Master are our best 2 draws. We got Spirit. So this allows us to set up for really strong turns coming up, because now we get to get a massive board, and also we have tons of gas because we just drew a ton of cards. He's even, so he can't play Mind Control Tech, so we can afford to play this out. Even if he has Hellfire, this has 4 health because it got buffed, so this will always be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage, so we don't have lethal yet. if he clears. Playing this out was fine, because it would technically give him a 2 for Defile, but he already used double Defile, so we're just setting up the strongest board to potentially Fungal Mancer up. Life Drinker's a pretty good draw now. It's deal 6, heal 6, so that's essentially with Spirit of the Shark, it's like a Leroy that goes around taunt. Ooh, that's really weak. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage. I think that has to be the play. Just make the biggest guys and hit face. We're not really being threatened by lethal. And any... Oh, I miscounted. I think I only counted 4 damage, not 8, so we had exactly lethal, actually. Nice. That was a pleasant surprise, because I miscalculated that pretty badly. Alright. Not bad, not bad. Deck has incredible burst if you can stick a shark. Not many classes right now have a way to deal 4. So if you get your spirits buffed with Keleseth, it's really, really strong. Alright, so I'm going to keep these simply because I can coin this out if he's mid-range against like a Crackling Razor Maw, and this is really good just as one of the strongest cards in our deck. Also, if it's Spell Hunter has no way to deal with this, so we can set up for some really big swing turns. Yeah, so it's going to be secret. That's kind of scary. I'm considering just backstabbing this. That doesn't seem too bad to me. We can still coin SI if he plays another one. And then we go turn 4 this and turn 5 Former Champ, and that's 2 5/5s, which is very, very strong. For some reason I thought this summoned is 6/6, but that's okay. It looks like we might have disrupted his game plan a little bit. Okay, so we're just going to pass the turn. I don't want to attack into that because it could be Wandering Monster, and that could be bad for us. Okay, that's fine. I kind of want to coin this out and then go Spirit into Hotshot. Just because this gives us a chance to high roll some spiders. Okay. So I'm going to attempt to make this trade. It might be freezing. Pew. Okay, so it's most likely Wandering. I'm just going to set up this. It sets up for either a Former Champ turn, or potentially we can like go off with an Edwin. It looks like it's just going to be this, though. Mojo Master is pretty good in this matchup. Yeah, so Former Champ. And I'm actually just going to steal this back so that we can combo with it in the next couple turns. Because we can now go 2, 3, and kill that if it's still alive for some reason. And we made an 11/11 on turn 5. And that's pretty strong. His Spellstone is currently only 3 wolves. Our deck doesn't have a good way to answer Spellstone. But luckily, he hasn't found a turn to play it, so... These hotshots are pretty cool. I like their art a lot. So... What can you do with 4 mana? Just more secrets? That's fine. he got that, so that's really good for him because it means I can't test for freezing with it. I'm going to start with hitting in here. Most likely getting Venom Strike or Freezing, or both. Okay, Freezing is fine. No Venom Strike. So I'm going to attempt to kill this again. Nice, so it's most likely Explosive Wandering. So I'm just going to go and set up lots of taunts. So I could have procced this, but I kind of want the 5-1. Having this wall of taunts means this will almost always survive. It also gives us tons of minions if he goes for a Spellstone turn. And it sets up for us to be able to do some big stuff with Edwin or Life Drinker next turn. Essentially, if we draw like a Firefly or a Keleseth, we can go off with our Edwin and make it quite big. Yeah, so there's the Spellstone. So we get a free trade here because we kept this alive. We're going to attack with this first in case he played a second freezing. Oh my god, we got the Firefly to go off with Edwin. That's pretty crazy. So attack with this first. Okay, trade this. Go Firefly. Flame Elemental. Flame Elemental. Oh, Rat Trap. I didn't play around Rat Trap at all, but he gets a 6-6 and we get something much bigger. Yeah, so we got a 14-14 out of it. And again, he has Explosive up almost 100% of the time, so I'm not going to attack face. I'm just going to pass here. We can use these 1-2s for trading purposes. He's going to have to try and find a way to kill this. So our 14-14 will most likely survive into this turn. And then at any point we can Mojo Master because he's starting to get up there in, you know, the mana. And Mojo Master is our most expensive card, so. Ooh. This feels pretty bad. What's that 6-6 gonna do though? Just going face. Oh, okay. That is quite alright with me. So he's trying to go aggressive now. So I'm going to take this free trade. I'm going to take this free trade. I'm going to trade this one in here. I'm going to proc the Explosive Trap. And unfortunately also proc the Wandering Monster, but that's okay. A 1-5 doesn't do anything. So this will pop Explosive. We then go heal 3 and kill off this 3-2. And then he only has 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage compared to our 13 health. So we're dead to something like Kill Command. But next turn we can go Mojo Master and delay his Zul'jin. So if we're not dead this turn, we're in a decent spot. Especially considering we still have this 14-6. Which he might be inclined to start trading into. Okay, so that's a freezing. Because otherwise there's no reason for him to be taking these trades. Freezing, unknown. So freezing and 2 randoms. We are unfortunately taking a lot of damage. We can take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 next turn, so we're dead. Spirit of the Shark doesn't save us, so we lost. Damn. That was a pretty close game. That felt pretty bad to lose, all things considered. This deck seems really powerful. I don't know quite what happened last turn, or last game that, like, made us lose. But that's alright, I guess. Not the worst thing in the world. Okay, so this is pretty good. I'm just going to keep the aggressive cards, because against Hunter you just have to kind of get the damage in before they can go off. Wonder if there's any other lists around which are using Spirit. Maybe using it in this aggro shell isn't the best. The deck seems really powerful though, so I'm not sure what other big battle cries you'd really be trying to get out of it. I do want to try and add a little bit more punch into this style of list though in the late game. I think a card that would be really strong and fit pretty well into this archetype is the Gurubashi Hypeman, simply because if you have your Spirit on board, it's already good by itself because you get tons of Battlecry synergy, and then since you're already running the Spirit, you can get Battlecries that deal damage. You can like hard pick for those, and that can increase your burst by a lot, because a lot of games come down to like you can make games go pretty long. So I think having that extra burst potential might be really good. I think that we'll give this list, a couple more games by itself, and then maybe try and fit that in. Okay, so we're not going to attack into that, because it's most likely a wandering. Next turn we most likely will attack into it, because we want to start buffing up our Hench Clan. And then we have turn 4 Shark into turn 5 Fungal, which is one of the strongest plays in our deck, so that could be really good. So yeah, let's hit in here, see what pops out. Hopefully something we can kill. Yikes. So that's a 4-3. I'm going to delay what we were going to do and instead just play this and trade this guy out, because I don't want my Hench Clan being traded for his Wandering Monster. That was a really good pull for him, unfortunately. And he gets to keep it alive, Jesus Christ. Okay, so we can afford to take 4. I'm just going to set up the Shark, because then we can Fungal Mancer next turn if we have to. That'll make... Oh my god, he just top decked that too. Fuck me. Okay, so we're going to go 4-1 and set up for a Fungal Mancer. Yeah. And I'm going to hit this once. It feels really bad, but now it at least dies to a Serenite token. Jesus, this Wandering Monster got in for like 12 damage. And we don't even have a good Fungalmancer anymore. I think we just lose because he rolled Frothing Berserker. Frothing Berserker into double Deadly Shot, there was nothing we could do this game, and it's mostly just over. I guess we can Fungal trade. Thank God it wasn't freezing. But at this point, we're pretty screwed. We're really behind on tempo, we have no health, and he just played a Spellstone, so that's game. I don't think that Rogue is in a good position right now, simply because you have no answer to Spellstone, and you can't really get under them fast enough. Well, we'll just jam a couple more games and see what we can do. This feels... When it goes off, it's really good, but it's just... I don't think it has enough early game punch. I think when we were doing the Shaman video, we were talking about how many 1-drops you want, and that deck we decided on 5, and this one only runs 3, and it's much more reliant on early game than that deck ever was. So I think we might have to change around the 1-drops that we're running. I'm gonna get rid of these two. Is this the same hunter? No. I'm just gonna get rid of these. It's worth considering keeping both, honestly. But I like getting a 1-drop more. We could have tried to go for a big Edwin, but we just got murdered by Deadly Shot twice in a row, so I'm not really feeling that plan. That line's probably just gonna get punished with more Deadly Shots, so... So, our hand's pretty good. It's not doing anything special for this list, but it's a standard, just decent opening. Secret. This is fine. So, next turn we're going to go 1 coin Edwin, and make a 6/6. This is fine. So this is almost 100% of the time a Wandering Monster, which is why we're setting up this Edwin. Um, the Edwin can only be answered by Hunter's Mark or potentially Deadly Shot, and so it'll be good to trade into the Wandering Monster because I don't think there's any 3-drop that will kill it aside from the Stone Skin Basilisk, the 3-mana 1/1 Divine Shield Poison this guy. So, as long as he doesn't have an answer to our Edwin, then we get to proc that secret for free. Hunter's Mark off the top. Fantastic. You've got to be fucking kidding me. This is fine, I guess. We're still not going to proc it because we don't want to trade our 1/2s. We're going to set up our 1/2s to become 3/4s with Fungal Mancer. That's super unlucky, though, that he top-decked Hunter's Mark. If he goes for a 3 Wolf Spellstone here, then we have really, really clean trades. So I'm honestly hoping he does that, because it gives us just such a clean way to deal with one of the 2 Spellstones. This is definitely not... Hunter's an awful matchup for us, so I think this deck is not good right now, because Hunter is like the majority of the metagame. It's definitely an interesting list, though, and it has a lot of validity behind it. It just needs, it needs a little bit more, like, oomph. So I'm going to play this out, and I'm going to steal it back so that if that's explosive, it, doesn't kill our fungal. So yeah, we saw Wandering coming. Oh, for fuck's sake. Dude, the people I play against are so good. So good. And it didn't even hit it. Oh, for fuck's sake. Jesus, that was interesting. That was really bad for us. The people I've been playing against have gotten incredible Wandering Monsters, and now that fucks up our Fungal Mancer turn too. Great. Yeah, so I don't think we're going to be playing this deck anymore, simply because it's awful versus Hunter, and the majority of the metagame is Hunter. So there's really no reason to play this, because you're not fast enough to get underneath a Spellstone, and you don't have enough burst to really, like, function afterwards. The way that we could fix that is by running Vanish, but I don't think we have enough, like, I don't think even with that we have enough game. But that's like the only way that the Kingsbane Rogue has a chance versus Hunter, is it gets a big weapon, it can hit you over and over again, and then you vanish away your spellstones and board and stuff like that. Okay, so that's a really, really weak turn. His hand must be full of garbage, and probably a Zul'jin, because there should be almost no situation where you play this for 2. So we're just gonna go big. I see no reason just to not go aggressive here. I'll trade this here, I think. What's he at? Yeah. We don't have burst damage, really. Like, the only reason that hitting that 3 to face would be better is if he somehow clears my entire board, and then we drew exactly Life Drinker. Because we'd 7 to 4, Life Drinker does 3, our Dagger does 1. But our board is really large, so I don't think that he's going to have an answer for it. So removing the damage from the board is most likely better. A little bit of a trump trade there, but that's okay. So at this point he needs something really big. So he needs like Hunter's Mark, Freezing Trap. Okay, lost the 50-50 on the deadly shot. This is pretty good. I'm gonna kill this for kill command purposes. Zul'jin can't come down this turn, so next turn, if he somehow is still alive, we can just Mojo Master and set that back. He could have a Zombies that is like Exploding Bloodbath, Poisonous Rush, and that would be really sad. What did you get? What's your saving grace, my dude? Oh, that's always my favorite thing when people hover cards and they're like, do I really want to do this? Oh my god. That is so much healing. Holy fuck. So Mojo Master has to come down this turn, because we can't beat a Zul'jin. So Mojo Master. And I don't think we can afford to have him life-stealing more, so we have to do that trade, even though it's really bad. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 damage in hand. We can draw an SI7 agent, or a Life Drinker, or a Fungal Mancer for lethal. So that's 3 out of 18. That's pretty low. And it doesn't work anymore. So Fungal Mancer is our best draw. Elven Minstrel's pretty good. Okay, I'll take an Elven. We actually can't play it this turn, which is pretty sad, but it's not too bad to get. And now we have 10 spiders in our deck, so drawing any of those is really good. Or maybe we have 7, I thought we had 10. And this spirit is still alive, so that's really, that's a good thing for us. If we can get the spirit to hit the card drawn Elven, that gives us a really good chance at this game. Otherwise, we're like pretty quickly running out of steam. Okay. Spellstone. Okay, so that's bad. What do we get off the top? Backstab. That's not bad. So we go Backstab, Elven, draw 4. Cool. I'm gonna keep this back for the Vile Spine. And 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know if I can't tell if the play is supposed to be going face here or not. I'm just gonna do this. That secret is really scary. We're getting really low too, but if he can't clear the Spirit of the Shark this turn, then we can go Fungal, and that's most likely lethal. That's bad. Taunt, Poisonous, and he gave that Wind Fury. So that means he gets... Oh, for fuck's sake. Really? Oh, he traded. That was really dumb. I don't know why he did that. Okay. So that gives us a chance. I think our best play is to go Spirit this. That gives us 3 minions, and then we can set up a Fungal Mancer. And these all have Taunt too, so... there's something to be said for like Serenite Vilespine or Argent Squire Vilespine in this turn. Serenite Vilespine might have been really strong, but I like having the extra taunt minion, I guess? That might have been a misplay. We played that turn really quickly. Charge Taunt. So that's why we saved the Vilespine, I guess. Because now we can kill something big like that. But at this point, I'm pretty sure this game is lost. We need something like miraculous to come out. Next turn, he's most likely going to Zul'jin with this card over here. So we've probably lost this game. Because at the very least, we're taking 7 this turn and going down to 5. So a kill command, he used 2 actually, so that doesn't kill us anymore. 4, 8. So we're at 1. Which means that explosive trap that he most likely has up is going to kill us. Or just a candle shot off the top. This guy top decked like 4 turns really well. That's really tilting. Yeah, so this deck does not seem particularly strong. I think instead of that, we need to play something that can go a little bit more late game and deal with Hunter in a better way. So I still want to get Spirit of the Shark in here. So Spirit, and then let's look at Battle Cries. Is there any AoE Battle Cries that we can take advantage of? No. Shadowblade is not a bad card, but it's not really what we're looking for. I want to fit this guy in here if we're going more control-y, and then also Valera. Spirit of the Shark Myra is pretty cool. You could make a Battlecry Death Rattle list. Anyways, let's look and see if there's any kind of AoE. We want to add in the 1-drops, so those are all really good 1-drops. What can deal with a Spellstone? Can anything deal with a Spellstone? We can go Prince, just because Prince is really powerful. I like 1 Ooze. Mind Control Tech technically can kind of help, but it's not particularly strong. Stonehill could be useful. None of these really help us with dealing with Spellstones. Serenite is just good, so we have to run it. We might want to run just like Shroom Brewer. Maybe like Shroom Brewer, Witchwood Piper, and don't run Elven, and this can act as our Elven in the deck. I could see that being okay. Chief Inspector. Fungal is a really strong power play with this sword deck. Mojo Master. Wow, so there's actually nothing that deals 3 damage. So we have to find a different way to deal with Spellstone. How can we do that? Is there anything from this list that seems core that we're missing? We want Vilespine for sure. Where is Vilespine? Vilespine. Oh, Cannon Barrage deals 3. So if we go for a pirate deck, the 3 damage can kill Spellstones. Rogue has like no AoE is the problem. We could try going like Shadowblade, Blade Flurry. I'm not super opposed to that. Could we run Raiding Party? Draw 2 pirates. Let's see if we can make this kind of thing work. So let's find pirates. Are there any good pirates that we're missing? We can't run this. We could run Dread Corsair. We could run Greenskin. Ticket Scalper, potentially? I like the idea of this guy, and then maybe, oh, I know. We'll get rid of Glacials for South Seas, because those are good when they get buffed and they get drawn from our raiding party. Yeah. Let's try something like this. So, weird battle cry. I have zero idea how this deck's going to perform. It's probably going to go like 0-8, but this gives us, if we get to the late game, a little bit more power plays. We have Valera with Gurabashi Hypeman. Hypeman is really strong with Spirit of the Shark. We have this Shadow Blade that we can get with Raiding Party to try and deal with Spellstones. We run the single Blade Flurry as the tech against Hunter. So the most important cards in our deck right now are Shadow Blade and Blade Flurry. So I'm going to say goodbye to you, goodbye to you. I'll keep a Firefly. I kind of want to keep this just for the bow, but I think the secrets and the Spellstone are much more impactful than the bow. So we found the Shadow Blade. So now we're just looking for the Blade Flurry. Oh, we found double Shadow Blade. That's pretty good as well. Because those allow us to have a weapon that trades into the Spellstone wolves. And also, you know, the immune is pretty nice. It saves us a little bit of health. Okay. I'm fine with just doing this. Okay. I'm hopeful for this list. I don't think it's good, but I'm hopeful. Chief Inspector is gonna be the MVP. Coin Secret. So all of his starting cards look like they kind of suck. Um, when an enemy attacks your hero. Okay, so we're just gonna hit this. It could be the only thing that it could be that's bad for us is misdirection. Cool. So that's most likely wandering, and we're just gonna let that sit there for a while. Candle Shot doesn't do a whole lot. Another secret isn't super important. This looks like it's most likely a Spellstone. I want to get this raiding party out here. Cool. So that will also help with dealing with a Spellstone if it comes down. Animal Companion. Huffer's not that. Huffer's like the worst for him, so we're glad we rolled that. He's trading? No, okay. I was gonna say I wouldn't have expected a trade coming out there. So pop Venom, Snake. Ooh, Snake is kind of bad for us, but it's fine. We're just gonna take this double trade and set up Spirit with this little taunt minion. So Spirit next turn can get us multiple Serenites. It's not the biggest, like the most valuable Spirit that I've ever played, but Serenites definitely aren't bad. So it doesn't look like he has a Spellstone, or he's considering playing something besides Spellstone, which would be incorrect, because Spellstone is the best card in his deck. Secret. Eaglehorn. Okay. That's a little unfortunate. It's not that big a deal, though. He didn't have Spellstone, so we're in a good spot, simply because he didn't have Spellstone. Shroom Brewer's kind of nice. We'll just set this up. And then I'm going to hit, and hopefully it's not Venom Strike. Cool. So, just remove a snake. It means that on board he can only deal with one Serenite instead of two. And that Shadow Blade wasn't really helping us too much, so. We have South Sea and Devile Spine if you play something big. This could be a Rexar. Wait, he had that last turn and didn't play it. There's no way that's correct. Wing Blast? You're fucking kidding me. Did that seriously just happen? So this will draw us either a South Sea or a Firefly. That's not particularly relevant. I'm gonna go South Sea, destroy. Hit here. Hit here. And take these free trades. So he has Explosive Wandering most likely. Misdirection is never run, and it could be a single Rat Trap. That's like the best card in his deck that he could have drawn almost. The only thing worse would have been Rexar. Fuck. So, take this trade. It's freezing. Great. I'm just going to play more tokens, and then I think I can get the healing later. I want this to set up for my Vile Spine. Then I'm going to take this free trade, because I don't see any reason not to. The Shroom Brewers are going to be really important this game, because we're taking a ton of damage. We've been using our face a lot more than I typically would expect versus Hunter. That's fine. Getting only 2. That's still, you know, one of the best draws in his deck, because it puts multiple minions on board. But he's starting to run out of steam. He used a kill command that didn't go to my face, so that's really good. Also, he hit... Oh, I guess because the 3-3 could trade into a 3-3. I'm surprised he didn't kill the Serenite. This turn we want to go 3-5. Do we want to kill this one? Or this one? Which is scarier? This is a beast, so this is probably scarier. Just because it sets up for some potential with that. And then we can go South Sea, It was Rat Trap. I forgot about Rat Trap. Fuck. That's okay. So we go 2, 2, 3, and then hopefully that rat gets stuck behind a 2-1, and so we can go Firefly into Vilespine next turn. And then we have Shroomber coming up. Okay. So that's really bad. He traded. I'm not even sure whether that's better or worse for us, honestly. But the play is just to go Firefly, kill the 6-3, kill the 3-3. And I'm going to re-dagger, just because the 1-2 can be good with combo. We have a lot of healing in our hand, and essentially the only two cards in his deck that matter are Zul'jin and Rexxar. And he's still, he's only through half the deck, so that's the best one for him. Huffer would have been scary, I guess, so can't complain too bad. So I'm going to hit here, hit here. This could be wandering, and I don't want to give him a good minion, so I'm going to pass on attacking this turn and just restore a bunch of health and break this dagger, because why not? So essentially, if I knew that was explosive for some reason, I would have hit into that, but I'm not positive, so I don't want to give him potentially a really strong minion. Because now we just get to test with Shroom. And I guess we go like this, actually, first. And then we still test with Shroom. Because I want to preserve health on this. Cool. And I'm going to restore more health to myself, so that's 8 extra healing. Alright. So, luckily, he had like 1 turn of dead draw. And that gave us enough, power, or enough tempo to push this really strong board. Nice. So yeah, basically, like, if you can stabilize or get ahead with this deck, you're really, really in a good spot. Playing from behind is really difficult, especially against Hunter because of the Spellstone, but we have things in the deck to try and counteract that. We also have the Chief Inspector, which can help, some of those tricky secret moments. So, like, sometimes people just go ham with secrets. Another Hunter. This is like all we've played this day. I'm really thinking that this style of deck is going to be strong later on, but right now people are just playing so much Hunter because nothing has come out that's like really stand out good against it, that we're going to be seeing a lot of like fairly poor matchups. It also doesn't help that we're at rank 5 instead of like anywhere in rank 4+, because that means that people who might not typically use like the strongest decks aren't there. That I made that point really poorly. Essentially, the rank floor, in my experience, even though it's supposed to, like, supposedly there's people that play meme decks down here, it's mostly people trying out the meta decks and figuring out if they're good enough to be able to rank up with it. Once you start getting into some of the higher ranks, like I was ranked 3 at some point in this season, I think, and I was facing almost no Hunter because it was just people trying to beat up on Hunter. So I think if we were in a local meta like that, we'd be in a much better position. But, 1-0 versus Hunter with this list, so feels good. We drew the Shadow Blade already, so we're just looking for the Blade Flurry in this matchup. Getting roped on turn 2 is pretty cool. Using Hearthstone Deck Tracker tilts the fuck out of me, though, because I get to see how long people take compared to how long I take. And, like, my turn 1 was pass, so it took me 4 seconds. And his turn 1 was pass, and it took him, like, 50. Ooh, we're setting up for really big power plays. I'm kind of okay with just, like, Coin Raiding Party. Well, no, that only draws us 2 cards. And they're not cards that are particularly relevant right now, because we drew all of our pirates. I don't know. I don't think that's correct. I think saving the coin is probably better. But there's something to be said for trying that out. We can always combo the raiding party with our South Sea whenever we play it, though, so it's not particularly scary. So this turn I'm just going to Shadow Blade and proc his secret. Killing the Candle Shot is not important. What's important is killing the Eagle Horn Bow. So hopefully this dies. Nice. And we were immune, so we don't take damage. And then next turn we can set up for a really big power play with Dread Corsairs. Okay. So, I'm gonna... Oh, I can't attack first. Damn. We have to play these two first. And we're essentially just hoping for not a rat trap at this point. So I'm gonna attack now. Wandering. Hopefully it kills. Nice. Then we get to play a fungal in the middle there. Or not a fungal, a Keleseth. That's probably bad positioning in case we drew fungal. We want fungal on both the taunts, but this is fine. Ooh, Faded Arrow. So we really want that Fungal Mancer. Do we get it? Do we get it? No. The leader's not bad, though. I like going which... No, I like being able to kill this turn. So going like this, trade, hit, and then next turn we can go like 3-3. Yeah, I'll hit here. I don't see any reason really not to. I think this deck might just be too fair for the metagame right now. I'm really hoping that we get to test out the Hypman, though. I feel like the Gurbashi Hypman is actually incredibly powerful. So his Spellstone would be fully powered up, which is scary. Flanking's not too bad. Flanking Secret, okay. Oh, we found the Hypman. What do we want to do this turn? So if we go 3-3, we use this not on a bow, which feels a little bad, but we do get to draw both a Shadow Blade and a Southsea. And next turn we can set up for like a Hypman. We still save coin for turn 8 this. I think this has to be the right play. Feels a little bad using that not on a Eaglehorn bow, but we get a lot of cards out of this. I can actually coin this out if I wanted to, but I want to try and save coin for Valera, and also this is good post Valera because we have the Shadow Blade. Because we can get 2 of those in the turn. We're looking for Blade Flurry as well as Spirit of the Shark. Those are the 2 cards in our deck which matter the most right now. And the absolute worst draw is Raiding Party, so hopefully we don't draw into our second Raiding Party at this point. I think to my side. That's a little scary, but it's not the end of the world. Essentially, as long as he doesn't have Spellstone, we're in pretty decent positions. Okay. So how do we deal with this? Spirit's really good. I like setting up Spirit this turn, most likely, because then we can go Hypman next turn and get double Battlecry. So I like going Spirit, and then we can kill this turn by going Shadow Blade, coin, Southsea. We can actually kill it without using Shadow Blade, but then we take 4. Is that worthwhile? Yeah. So we're gonna play this out. Hopefully it's not freezing. Cool. So we just take this for free. So we're gonna go a little bit low, but we get to get the Spirit into Hypman as long as he doesn't have Deadly Shot. His best 2 cards here are Deadly Shot or Spellstone, because I don't have an answer to Spellstone. Jesus. Okay. We might just be dead now. Blade Flurry off the top? Nope. So, this, I think we have to kind of Hail Mary for it, because if we go coin Valera, there's very little chance we win. This restores 8, which puts us to... So we restore 8, this is 8, so 4, 5, 6, so we're at 3 health. That's pretty low. I don't think that's enough to win from. We can get 2 1/1s that we can then use their Battlecry again with this, with the coin, so I think this has to be our play. This is bad. I don't think we even have a Death Rattle minion in our deck, so I guess we go with Grawl. Ah, ooh, we don't have any pirates for this anymore, actually. So we go with Restore Health, and we play both of these this turn. So Grawl, we eat a fungal, that's fine, whatever. And then Restore 6. So with restoring 6, we take 8, 12, 13, 14. So I think we're technically alive. Yeah, we're alive at 1. Probably lost, but at least we got to see how powerful this was. This felt really good. It's just he rolled double Huffer in 2 turns. If we're not dead somehow, we get to get the 5 armor, and that could be very powerful. We're dead. That's so unlucky. Dude, that's like 3 games we've lost because people top deck fucking candle shots. And we had already killed a candle shot that game. That's really unlucky. What's my quests? Major Shaman, I don't have any interest in playing those really. Hunter, Mage, cool. I was basically just hoping to get that we rolled something that we could complete with this deck. I think maybe 2 raiding party is bad, because we don't have enough pirates. So I'm going to get rid of 1 raiding party and put in another... I don't even know what I want. Well, it shows up if I just do draw. Is there any cantrips that are really good? We could go with like an Elven or a Faldori. Nothing's really ringing my bells. Maybe something like some taunt minions? Maybe just a solid taunt minion. Oh, what we could do is try to fit a Corpse Taker package into this, so go Corpse Taker Ziliax. Maybe we don't need Zihi. Zihi seems really strong though. Maybe we don't want the Blade Flurry, maybe that's hedging too much. Yeah, so now we just need Ziliax in here. So with Ziliax, maybe we just get rid of the raiding party in general, but I think the raiding party is pretty good. I think 1 Witchwood, not Spirit, 1 Witchwood, Piper, and then we go Spirit of the Shark. Maybe this is just better as an Elven, actually. We're going to try this as Elven as well. So this is Weird Battlecry 1.2, if I can rename it. I don't think I'm that lucky. There we go. 1.1. So let's see if this does better. I think that this style of deck is really good. The Corpse Taker package will help us against Hunters. It'll give us lifesteal against other aggro decks. And I think once you reach the late game, going stuff like Shark into Hypeman and with Valera, there's just so much tempo you can get out of that because you get the double battle cries on like 4 different minions at once. Warlock. So this could be essentially anything. Zoo is popular, even Warlock's popular. Zilay just made a video on a control cube block style deck, so it could essentially be anything. I'm gonna keep the 1 of raiding party. I'm not positive that it's good because we don't have a way to combo it, but it's not too bad. Shadowblade is good if we're against Zoo, and even just using this as draw 2 pirates against Zoo is probably fine. Keliseth is making this hand a lot better though. So he's not even, because his gun didn't go off. So that's cool. That could essentially be anything. So we're still not sure if this is Zoo or not. There's something to be said for just killing this, but I'm just going to get the Keliseth out there. If it's Zoo, like, taking a trade is fine. We can set up for Shadowblade against whatever he plays. Okay. So this is definitely seeming more control-like, because he hasn't played anything yet. Draw 2 pirates. I already have 1 weapon, so I think I'm just going to use this as draw 2 pirates. There we go. So we can do some big swing turns now. Also, having both of these, they're essentially both 1 mana, sets up for our Elven really well. So I like this quite a bit, because we can go like Shark, and then South Sea Elven, because there's no way for him to deal with a 1/4. Is that the best play? I kind of want to save this for Hypeman, because this seems like a controlled list. So I think I'm just going to set this up and play a 4/4. And I see no reason to hit. He could potentially have Ooze, which, you know, we miss out on 3 damage, but I think using this as a control tool is more important. Oh, okay. That seems really bad for him. I don't really know why that was the play. I could set up a 4/4 taunt, or I could use charge. I think I like keeping the charge as a surprise, though. So we'll do this. We got double Hypeman. So next turn we're going to set up Shark, most likely. We only have to dodge Defile with Shark. So we just, if there's a way, we want to get rid of this 2 health minion. Doomguard. Okay, so it is of Q-Black variant because he discarded Prince Alderam. So yeah, we're just going to trade this in, play Shark. Ta-da! So trade this in, play Shark. He would need a 1 and a 2, so I'm okay with playing this Firefly here. Do I even want to play the Firefly? We're going to have hand space issues, so no, we don't. We just play this out. There should be no way he can kill this. He could have, like, Shriek Hellfire. Or Hellfire Defile, potentially. I think he had Hellfire Defile. That feels pretty bad. Hellfire Shriek, okay. So that's unlucky, but we drew another one. So I think this turn I'm going to just play one of these out naturally, but then we can set up this whenever we want. So I guess give my minions taunt. I don't want this, and I could get +1 attack and rush, but I have no dragons. So yeah, I guess I take a 1 mana Sunfear Protector. That's less than stellar, but having a 6/8 is pretty good. Soul Warden. What did he discard? He discarded a coin, a Taldaram, and a Hellfire. So he now has his Taldaram back and his Hellfire. So I want to kill this. I'm going to go this guy into Vilespine. And I'm just going to start hitting face, because we have another Shadow Blade if we need it for control. I'm going to play around Mind Control Tech. I doubt that he runs Mind Control Tech, but I don't want to lose a 6/8 or a 4/5 with Taunt if I played the Sun Fury down to a random Mind Control Tech, because we don't have an answer to either of those. On turn 8, he could have Twisting Nether. He has a Hellfire, so, you know, we have to be wary of that. So we have 10, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18 damage right now. Not quite enough. And we still have to worry about that Hellfire. So I like, this always goes face. I like setting up the Shark this turn, which means I want to try and get rid of my minions. So we're going to go like this. So that sets up a 1, but he doesn't have a 2. And this also plays around MC Tech still. So I'm just going to play this Shadow Blade. No, I want to maybe use the immune from the Shadow Blade. So we're just going to sit on this. This doesn't threaten lethal unless we get some really good battle cries off our Hypeman. But, oh, he's going to use the Hellfire. Fuck. That's really obnoxious. We didn't get any real value out of our Sharks this game. There's no way that that Hellfire doesn't come down, though. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 damage. So he's at 2. Firefly doesn't do it. So we're just going to start with this. So that's a 6/3 that we can turn into a 3/6. Maybe Void Ripper is the play here. Void Ripper seems okay. Frostwolf Warlord we could make pretty big also. Maybe Frostwolf actually. Yeah. I like going Frostwolf. Let's just make a big ass Frost Wolf. I'm not sure if this is correct, but this puts on a lot of pressure. It's not super susceptible to AoE. He would need a 1 to set up Defile, and then he would also need a 4. So this seemed pretty good. I think the Void Ripper play was also decent, because we could have made this a 3-6, which means it lives most likely, and then this is a 7-5, which is fairly big. Shriek Defile is still not enough. So now he needs, I don't even know. We got Ziliax. Second Doomguard, okay. This list seems really fun. I think this is the Zilay list. I have a lot of interest in playing this, but we won this game. So that feels pretty good. We somehow managed to win that game without getting almost any value out of our spirits too. So that's really, really strong. When you're against a more control deck, you have a lot of game. Because, like, Corpse Takers become a threat for lethal, or at least a threat for big damage. We don't actually run Cold Bloods in this list, but that's okay. You have big tempo plays to help with your combos, and Spirit of the Shark is just crazy good with setting up stuff with Hypeman. I think Hypeman is somewhat underwhelming. I thought he'd be better initially, but he's a fairly big body, especially if you get the Kaliseth buff on him, and if you're ever able to combo him with Spirit of the Shark, which we tried to set up twice that game, it seems incredibly strong. Because even that game that we got it off versus the Hunter that we lost, if he didn't have lethal that exact turn, then that was like incredibly good. We set up a really big board there. We had, given ourselves enough extra life. This seems cool. So this is definitely not a bad hand. Tracking unlucky. So we're 1-1 versus Hunter. And essentially we just have to play around Spellstone, Zul'jin. Hopefully we get our Mojo Master Zihi to shut down Zul'jin. Alright, Kelseth on 2. Feels good. We don't run Shadow Step in this list. That's one thing that I liked in the more aggressive variant, but it is better in the more aggressive variant that we tried, so. Huffer. Damn. So I could coin a Corpse Taker, and then next turn go Firefly into Raiding Party. That seems pretty good. Coin, Corpse Taker. His best answer here is a Flanking Strike. Essentially that's like a Candle Shot's pretty okay. A Bow is pretty good. Yeah, Flanking, fuck. That feels bad. We'll go Firefly Raiding Party this turn. Valera is going to be pretty good in this matchup. I'm going to trade this just in case. I don't think the 2 damage to face is going to matter that much. So we're setting up for a big tempo turn with all these buffed up pirates. I really like the idea that we can go for this big pirate turn with the taunt and then set up Spirit behind it. Ooh, Flanking Strike number 2. That seems fairly weak on a 1-2. I'm surprised that he went with that line. So yeah, I'm going to go Shadow Blade, take a hit, and then go with 1-4-4. And I could go with another 4-4, but I kind of like saving the taunt. I'm just going to go with a 1-2 this turn. Oh, I could charge this in, actually, because we still have 2 1-mana cards to combo with Vile Spine. So I like this. Sets us up with a 4-4 taunt that doesn't have a good answer, at least, on board. Stitch Tracker. So this is the Board Control Recruit Hunter, not Huffer. For fuck's sake. Our RNG with any kind of Animal Companion cards today has been so bad. But so we get to set up Spirit of the Shark. I'm going to play this out just because I'm going to take this trade. And this Vile Spine is going to be really good versus whatever he recruits out, because he most likely got an Undasta or a Katharina off of his Stitch Tracker. 3/7's not too big. This is fine. We're going to attack here to test for whatever that is in a second. We should do that first, actually. So it's not any of those. I'm just gonna play a ton of these guys, and I'm kind of want to just kill that snipe. Yeah, I'm just gonna kill that because it helps our 4-1 live. Again, killing a bow in this matchup is better, but protecting this 4-1 seems worthwhile. That's gonna be a Katharina. Yep. So that's fine. His crush is gonna go into a taunt, and then we're gonna Vile Spine his crush. Chief Inspector could be good if he plays some secrets. And then our Spirit is still technically safe this turn, because he's gonna... The play is most likely hit into here, and then he used double Flanking Strike already. So this might be able to live. Oh my god. What do you get? Nothing. Ooh, okay. So, I think I'm just going to set up Valera, because we don't have a good play this turn. We definitely just take these, because that's just a 6-3, doesn't particularly matter. And I'm just going to Valera. There's something to be said for going, like, I want this to hit secrets. I could just go wide on the board and hope he doesn't have an answer. That might be better. Just go super wide. This also allows us to re-equip a dagger, which means when we go into Valera mode, we have two charges instead of one. That could be relevant for our South Sea deckhand having charge. So we are at 32, and we have a very massive board. And all of his big beasts that he has left are in his hand. So these don't do anything. That can get blown up with Chief Inspector. That can also get blown up with Chief Inspector. So I'm really glad that we saved this and went with this like little Firefly line instead, because I think that's lethal now. 8, 9, yep. Aw, I didn't get to show you the tech card, dude. Well played. So that felt a lot better. We didn't go up against the Spellstone, so I'm not sure how much we can say for, you know, how valid that win was versus Hunter. But we won, so that's not too shabby. I definitely think that going with this more late game approach might be a little better. I think the Pirate package is really strong to set up to protect your Spirit of the Shark, so I'm really liking that. I'm gonna keep none of this. It might be worth keeping Shadowblade to answer, you know, Radiant Elementals if he plays it just for no reason. Northshire Clerics, stuff like that. This hand's fairly uninspiring, but it's not too bad. We have Keleseth, we have potentially a 1-mana taunt. We drew our raiding party, that's really strong actually. So as long as we don't draw our pirates, this raiding party is going to be really good. If we want, we can try to combo it, but I don't think it's particularly important. Wow. Alright, that's a play. So I'm going to set up the Shadowblade, so that next turn we can go Dread Raiding Party and draw South Sea, Shadowblade, Dread Corsair most likely. So he has a Keleseth, but it's not active, most likely. Yeah, so he just took that as a, like, as it was, which is interesting. Alright, so we drew a bunch of pirates. So that's 3 draws that we didn't want to hit naturally because we had the raiding party. So this makes the rest of our draws for the rest of the game better. And it also sets us up pretty well. Like, these are all strong cards by themselves. Mojo Master is going to be really, really good in this matchup. Because Priest is trying to go big. It looks like he's trying to set up for, like, Psychic Streams. He has coin, but he can't have 2 coins. So I'm just going to go as big on the board as I can. We do kind of have to play around Mass Hysteria. That's the one thing that worries me. But I'm just going to say that even if he has it, it's not that big a deal, and go super big. And I'm going to hold this weapon back. Next turn, depending on what happens, we're almost always Zihiing. Yeah, so there's the Mass Hysteria. Wow. Oh, damn, if that hit, If that hit here, that was really good for us, but it didn't. So I'm just going to set up this. Um, it's not particularly strong because we have nothing that it's setting up for, but we have no other play, and he might be scared and coin Psychic. Oh. Oh. It's that he Shadow Visions for these. That was not what I was expecting. So this is fine. Um, I'm going to go with the Vile Spine line this turn. And then the turn after we can Mojo Master. What would be bad is if he has double Eternal Servitude here, because he has Eternal, Coin Eternal, and gets 2 Lich Kings. That I think we lose to, but that's essentially the only like superpower play he has. Psychic would be bad. This is most likely fine. Hopefully this lives. Nice. So everything else died, but this guy lived, and we're just gonna Zihi this turn. Our Corpse Takers are not particularly good because we drew Ziliax. Ooh, Vile Spine's really strong. But I think that we just hit here. Maybe we save Zihi one more turn. I'm okay with that. I'm going to hit here and play another one. This is potentially bad because that was our only combo piece for Vile Spine, so I may have not wanted to do that. Oh hey, what's going on, Murrah? How you doing, bud? I have not been super good at looking at chat. Typically, people just kind of come and go. But how's it going, Merrick? Ooh, Vile, or not Vile, Obsidian Statue. And we didn't draw anything that we can use to combo, but we can just Fungal, and Fungal's pretty big here. So, hopefully the shark doesn't die. Fuck. Dude, that's so bad. God damn it. That's really unlucky. Oh, that feels so bad. That's okay. He hasn't shown that he has any Eternals because he didn't Eternal any Lich Kings, so that's good for us at least. He needs to have an answer to this 8-4. We currently show Lethal, and we have Zihi next turn. Basically, the best thing he can do is resummon copies of Obsidian Statue. Hitting that shark was so good for him, though, because that means we missed 5 damage. And also, it's a shark, so it means that our other battle cries are worse. Okay. That's not particularly scary. Depending on what we draw, we're most likely just Zihiing. Yeah. So we can go Zihi, set each player to 5, and then we can Elven and hit for 3. So we're out of... Oh no, we have one more shark left for this Heightman, potentially. I think we're in a good spot. Oh, he finally picked up an Eternal. Okay. So if we draw one of our 1-drops, then we can Vile Spine it. Can't Vile Spine it. So we can go... This does 3... We can go like 3-3-3. That seems like the best play. Because that potentially lets us get 6 to face. And this weapon no longer matters. We have nothing in our deck that synergizes with it, aside from Southsea. But Southsea we can just use with this, so... He gets a lot of lifesteal out of this, unfortunately. Do I want to trade here and potentially have a better board? Or do I want to potentially get the 6 face? I think I want to go for the 6 face. Yeah. This feels pretty good. We're basically looking for the Spirit of the Shark and the Valera of the Hollow. Valera with the Gurbashi Heightman 1/1s can be really strong, because you can play the 1-for-1 and then play a second one for free. That Master Spell does not matter that much. He's wasting Burst on a 3-2. I don't think he's playing this quite correctly. So we're just going to play this out. And then... Do I want to play a 6-8? Or do I want to try and save this for Shark value? Well, if we play 2 minions, that plays into Psychic Stream more. So I'm going to go with this and make his Psychic worse. I don't have any dragons. Give your opponent a coin, or give a friendly minion spell damage. I guess I'll just take a spell damage, because I don't have any dragons, and I don't have whatever the other thing was. But spell damage is also not particularly useful, because we have no spells in our deck. That's alright. Oh, we didn't play around Anduin, I guess. That's pretty unlucky. I guess we should have considered that. I didn't even consider that as an option. This is looking pretty bad for us now. I'm gonna not show what I got from the Hypeman yet, because he might be scared of something big, even though all I have is this little fisherman. Okay. So he only has one Eternal left, which means I think our play here has to be Vile Spawning this and hoping that he doesn't resurrect it. He potentially has a second Resurrect here. So he has one, like one main deck and then potentially one from his Shadow Visions. But we can't just keep that alive, so we just have to hope that he doesn't have the resummon. So that's his resummon. And he got Malagos. Perfect. Alright. So that's gonna look like game to me. We can heal. And heal. And then hope we're not dead, but we're most likely just dead. This could be another Mind Blast that he went for, or a Holy Fire. Yeah. There was essentially nothing we could do that game. There was no line where we really had a decision point that was super impactful. He just had lots of board clears, and our Hypeman sucked, so that's unlucky. I think I'm just going to keep jamming a couple more games of this, though, and see how it does against the field. We've done a lot better with this than I thought we would, considering how janky it looks. But you can definitely set up some really good tempo, like 2-3 turn setups that are really, really good. I think the Pyre package protecting the Spirit of the Shark is incredibly powerful, especially when you get Raiding Party in your opening hand. So we're against Hunter. Hunter's typically bad, even though we're 2-1. A bad matchup for us, so we'll see how this goes. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to keep this, because as long as we don't draw Ziliax, this is good versus the Spellstone. This is really good as well. So we can go coin Raiding Party. It'll draw us a Shadowblade, a Southsea, and a Dread, and then that sets up for some big tempo plays against Hunter, so I like that. Ooh, and we get the Spirit. So we were just talking about how the tempo Pirate package can protect your Spirit really well, and we're going to be able to see it this game, so that worked out pretty well. Also, we didn't draw any extra Pirates, which is very good, because it means that this gets maximum value. Kaliseth. This is most like a Death Rattle Hunter instead of Spell Hunter. I'm not quite so sure how we do versus Death Rattle. We haven't played versus Death Rattle Hunter yet, so... But this turn is pretty straightforward. We're just going to set up this weapon, kill this for free, and then hopefully he doesn't have an ooze. If he doesn't have an ooze, we can make a big swing with the pirates, and then after that we can set up the shark and like stuff like Serenite or Elven. So this is looking pretty good. Mojo Master's fairly nice. This is not a good play because he has the Candle Shot to clear the Divine Shield. So I'm going to go... I could just do this. It's not particularly strong, but there's no way for him to kill it. And then next turn we can protect... So it's protected by stealth this turn, and then next turn we can protect it with the taunt minions. So I kind of like this. There should be no way to kill this for him unless he randomly runs Deadly Shot, or like Stampeding Kodo. Nice, yeah. So that's really weak. And now we get to protect this guy with taunts, which sets up for a fungal on the following turn. I'm going to play this one out because we get the benefit from the Spirit. And I'm not going to attack so that this still remains 1, because then we can go 1-5 next turn and buff up that Spirit. So this is basically the reason to play this style of list, or at least this list that I'm running. You get to use these 1-mana taunts and the Spirit of the Shark with, there's not too much you can do here. Oh, that's unlucky. You just get to make these big tempo swings with your battle cries once you protect your Spirit. Unfortunately, it went a little worse for us because he had flanking strike, but this is still pretty good. I can go fungal South Sea and clear the entire board. So we hit here. We South Sea down the 4-1. We trade here. And now we're in a really strong position. Um, we have Zihi for... Typically it's for Zul'jin, but he's not playing Spell Hunter, so he might not run Zul'jin. That's really good. So this is okay now, because it has the Divine Shield, so we can ping that off, but there's no way for him to kill this right now. We could use this as well, but I kind of want to save this for if we get the second Spirit of the Shark. And we have a pretty good turn here. I'm just going to go 4-3 and kill his weapon. This also has lifesteal, which, you know, can be relevant, especially in a matchup versus Hunter. It doesn't matter as much now that he got rid of the steady shot, but the lifesteal is pretty nice. So I don't feel too bad about this at all. I think tuning this deck to be more aggressive and have more Pirates energy, but still running stuff like Spirit of the Shark, Fungal, that might make it stronger. So we might try that after this. I'm going to actually just take this trade to protect our Divine Shield lifesteal guys, because I think that they're incredibly difficult for Hunter to deal with, considering he used Flanking Strike, double Flanking Strike already, and one Candle Shot. So the Divine Shield is really, really valuable. Katharina. Okay, Grizzly. Grizzly's not super important. We get a Vile Spine, so we can combo Vile Spine with Southie and get through this and just push face damage. I like that. He's out of Witchwood Grizzlies now, so his Katharina will only bring out either a Big Charger or a Savannah Highmane. So I think at this point our board is too big for him to be able to deal with. He basically needs like a Hail Mary Zombeast to win in the game. And next turn we can set him back to 5, which will hamper him if, you know, he somehow survives through this next turn. Yeah, I wonder too, buddy. I don't think there's too much he can do in this situation. We should have this match in the bag. Okay, Ziliax is pretty good, I'll give you that. So we go 3. He stays at 14 or at 15 because this didn't deal damage because of lifesteal. So we have 3, 7, 8, 9, 10 damage of his 15. And he played an egg, that doesn't particularly matter. So we need 5 damage, we didn't find it. I like going with Zihi to set him low, or to set him back, because he might have gotten really big Zombeasts, thinking that he'd have all of his mana available, but now he doesn't have all of his mana available. And I'm going to play this taunt too, just to protect our board. 7-5, and I assume these are most likely big zombies, like, you know, trying to make a push with lifesteal or like a big taunt, and he might not be able to play them anymore. Okay, so this is really good for us that he's trying to make a Zombeast. That means he's really desperate, and he needs to get a low cost Zombeast, which isn't super likely. Nice. So that Zihi looks like it won us the game there, essentially. It secured that win because he couldn't play, I think it was this turn 8 Zombeast. So that went really well. I do, even though this deck is doing well, I want to copy paste it. And so we're going to keep that as 1.1. We're going to paste it in here and try to make it more aggressive with more pirate synergy. Because we're essentially the strongest road deck right now is the Kingsbane pirate deck. But I'm trying to make use of Spirit of the Shark and some cool Battlecry stuff instead. But we can look at that list as like inspiration to how to make this a little bit better. So I think Valera is in that list, but that list doesn't run Zihi. So we're gonna cut Valera. I'm not sure about the Corpse Taker package, so I'm gonna get rid of the Corpse Taker package for now. I'm gonna get rid of one Vile Spine because it hasn't been like a key card for us. And essentially, I just want to put in more aggressive cards, as well as more pirates. So let's see. Pirate. What pirates are good? If we're going to be running pirates, we want to have Greenskin. Currently, we're using Shadowblade. We could switch this out for a Kingsbane and make it like a Battlecry Kingsbane deck. That could be interesting. I'm not so sure. I'm going to stick with the Shadowblade plan for now, simply because... maybe that's not too good. I'm not sure. We also could try and get rid of this Keleseth and go for, like, more pirate aggression. We don't have a super good way to use tokens, though, so stuff like Sharkfin Fan, unless we're going to go with the Cannon Barrage, isn't too good. We might also just be, like, pushing this into just a weird spot that we don't want it to be in. Like, trying to put too many archetypes together at once. I'm gonna say no to the pirate synergy, actually. We're gonna go back in and put in the Corpse Takers, the Corpse Taker package. So then we run Ziliax. And I do want to make this slightly more aggressive, so we're gonna find these last two slots to be more aggressive than the Vile Spine and whatever we took out was. I kind of forgot what we took out. What did we take out? I'm blind and don't see it, so that's okay. Oh, we took out the Valera. So, are there any battle cries that we're missing that are really strong, particularly with Fungal? We're already doing this kind of, oh, this might be good. We run these guys, and then we run another raiding party, and we use these in conjunction with our our 1-mana Dread Corsairs and our 1-mana these to get, like, really big rushing pirates. That could be really strong. Let's try this. I'm going to get rid of one healing, because we already have the Ziliax, and now we have the Corpse Takers with Lifesteal. So this is going to be more piratey Battlecry. We're going to try this out. I think this is really interesting. The Bloodsail Howler is a card I haven't tried at all yet, but it could help us with the fact that against aggressive decks, we don't have, like, really good answers. And also that Howler, particularly with the Shark, is good at getting big enough to clear Spellstone tokens from Hunters. Alright. So we don't want this in our opening hand. We want to draw this with Raiding Party, so I'm just going to keep Firefly. Keeping Serenite is worth considering, but it just doesn't do enough in the matchup, I don't think. Spirit, Corpse Taker, and a Bloodsail Howler? Okay. That's not too bad. So we'll just start out with this Firefly. Nice, he's passed 2 turns in a row. That's good for us. It means we get a little bit of time to work with. I'm just going to set this up. This is worse versus, like, Explosive Trap if he has it, but we can go, like, Coin Corpse Taker into Spear of the Shark into Fungal Mancer, and that's really, really strong. Okay, so Candle Shot doesn't do a whole lot. Candle Shot Secret's kind of annoying. I think I'm still going to go with this line of play. So I'm going to coin this out. He's going to hopefully not have Flanking Strike. This is a lot worse if he has Flanking Strike, so hopefully he doesn't have Flanking Strike. Because he can go like that, flanking, and then these are kind of stranded while we take a turn to set up the Shark. Fuck. Okay, it's Kill Command. That's a lot better than the alternative. So we're going to set up Spirit, and wherever basically. We're going to end up buffing the Spirit with Fungal, but there should be almost no way for him to deal with this unless he has a deadly shot that goes, you know, far left. Okay, so this is fine. We're going to go Fungal, um, hit with the 1-2, and then trade here. So fungal to give this more survivability. Maybe a snipe, not a snipe. We're going to start here in case of freezing. Okay, explosive. So that was expected. This is also... Oh, not... Oh, well, we didn't hit his face because it died to the explosive, so we don't know if that is, Wandering Monster? I think that this is wrong. Freezing. Ah, fuck. Shit. Well, that made this a lot worse. Because now this just dies to the candle shot. I don't think there was a way that we could have played around those secrets better, unfortunately, while keeping this alive. Wow. This went from really good to really bad. We essentially need to pick up Raiding Party, like, now. Serenite doesn't quite do it. So I'm just going to Shadow Blade and play a 3-mana 1-2. Take out one of these for free. And we're definitely on the back foot now. That secret, like the chain of events there, really put us in a bad spot. And he got Misha, which we have no way to get through. Yeah, so we lost on that turn. I don't think there was too much we could do. This is going to be a 2-2. That's not what we're looking for. We'll just set up a ton of taunt, and I guess we'll play a 2-2, because we can go 1-3 trade. And then, if we're not dead this turn, we can heal. This is really unfortunate. I thought we had this game, like, I thought we had this for sure when we set up that big fungal board. But the secrets didn't have it for us. It might have been better not to ever hit face there, and just hold on to our board, just clear the huffer. I guess that's what we should have done, to stay safer. So the best card that we can draw here is like Corpse Taker, Serenite, Ziliax. Anything that's taunt or heal. Shadow Blade's okay. Dread Corsair. That doesn't, that's not going to do it for us. Let's just Hail Mary this. Here you go, bro. Have a mana crystal. So yeah, that turn where we procced all those secrets, we shouldn't have attacked face, because having the 1-2 die to the explosive meant it didn't trigger freezing, which means that when we went to go for the trade, which would have set up to protect our shark, we got freezing trapped. That was something I didn't consider, mostly because I didn't like think too hard about how the secrets were going to interact with each other. But that's okay. At least we can look at that game and understand why we lost. Is this the same guy? It is not the same guy. So, I don't typically want pirates in my hand, but this isn't awful. I think this... Oh wow, this is interesting. I think I should have thrown all these back, but now that we picked up Raiding Party, this could get really big. So, this is definitely unorthodox for our deck, but I think this could work out really well. So I'm going to hit, just because, and essentially we're waiting until we can combo this. Oh my god, okay. So we're just going to hit again, and next turn we go South Sea Raiding Party, and we're going to draw all of our pirates really quick with these. So we'll get to see how good the pirate package is. We just need to be able to draw support behind it. Essentially, we're just looking to not draw a pirate in the next like turn or two. Most specifically on this next draw, if we draw a pirate, that makes our turn much worse. Coin Umbra? What the fuck? So, I really don't want to deal with that, but I have to. Why does our Keleseth... Oh, we run Keleseth with the Bloodsail Howler. Oof. So, unfortunately, I think we have to go 1-1 kill this. Oh, I really don't want to do that, though. We could go 1-1-2. Okay. This is our play. And we can Raiding Party next turn. So this is 3-1, and then we have 2 pirates. That feels really bad. I can't believe we put in Keleseth without... like we didn't take that out and think about it. That's okay, that's okay. Does he have the play dead? Nope. So, we're going to play this to draw some pirates. And then next turn, we can go 3-mana taunt, Raiding Party, and draw a Shadowblade in our last pirate, which will then activate our Keleseth. All in all, for messing up our Keleseth, at least we can tutor out the 2 drops that we put in, but that was pretty bad for us. We'll see what happens here, though. I don't think we're in a bad position. At least not yet. Grizzly. That's not particularly strong. So, I'm going to save these, actually. I'm just going to play Firefly, Raiding Party, and then Keleseth. And I see no reason to trade these in. This list most likely doesn't run Hounds. The reason to trade in would be because of Unleash the Hounds, but I don't see that being super likely. Does he have Cube Play Dead? That'd be really unfortunate. Fuck. So, that's bad. So we're gonna try out this big-ass rushing pirate boy. 5-5, 3, 2, 2. Yeah, at this point we just lose. We have no answer to a cube that's holding Witchwood Grizzly. So, that's unfortunate. I think that this deck is too fair. It doesn't, like, hit you hard enough, fast enough.